Ahead right now. Scoring referee in charge of this bout is David Irving. Firstly boxing out of the red corner. On the scales at 165.5. He's got 4 career victories, wearing the white and silver trim. He boxes out of Vantaa, Finland. Introducing Jamil And across the ring, boxing out of the blue corner, wearing white, purple and gold. He was on the scales at 156.1. He's a multiple Irish national champion in the amateurs. And as a professional, his fight record is perfect. 3 visits to the ring, 3 victories, 1 inside the distance. He boxes out of Wexford, Ireland. Introducing the undefeated gladiator, Dean Walsh. Referee David Irving with his final instructions.
Okay, Jamil, Dean, obviously a clean fight. The temperature says you're all 10, and he's the right commands. Touch gloves.
Well, what a night so far here in the 3 Arena in Dublin. Mick Conlan takes a stoppage win to the bank, and the conversations will begin to flow about what next for the Irish superstar, but there is still business to attend to here in Dublin. We have a middleweight contest now, 8 3-minute rounds. Dean Walsh, Jamil Elo. Keep the proceedings underway. Oscar will talk about Mick Conlan in a moment. What a night that we've just seen there. But first up, undefeated middleweight action in front of us. El Gladiator. How's he supposed to compete with that atmosphere?
Well, I've just recovered from having my eardrums burst by the crowd and being soaked in beer by the crowd as well. Really excited to see what Dean can do. Stellar amateur career. Only had 3 fights as a professional, 31 years of age, but he'll be fast-tracked quite nicely, and hopefully he can put in a top performance tonight.
Covered in beer and a stellar amateur. I see what you did there, Oscar Beavis. Well played. He's right, though. Stellar amateur career, and we're looking at an undefeated pro in front of us now. El Gladiator, Dean Walsh, looking to make a statement in front of what's still a strong crowd here in Dublin after that incredible main event a few moments ago. Walsh instantly applying the pressure, throwing power shots, letting his hands go, not being backed up by his man at all. Jamil Elo trying to push back the Finnish fighter with little to no success. Walsh happy to trade with him and land the stronger, cleaner shots here in the middle of the ring.
Yeah, he's got a whipping jab, Dean Walsh. You can see that right from the off.
There was a nice one that came back from Elo, from Finland. Unfortunately for him, it was met by a flurry. And when you're working at a ratio of 1 to 20, rounds tend not to go your way. So can he fix something up? As Walsh lands another right hook, then a 1-2 through the guard. It's a good start from the Gladiator.
And not that he wouldn't feel good tonight, Dean Walsh fighting at the 3 Arena, Dublin in Ireland. But to make it even better, he's managed by Mr. Mick Conlan.
I wonder if Mick's been able to get a screen in his room or medical room, wherever he is now, in the gallows here at the 3 Arena in Dublin, to watch his man from Wexford here in Ireland. It's a strong start from El Gladiator. He goes downstairs, then upstairs. A little nod of appreciation from Elo from Finland, who's acknowledging that this might just be a little bit too much. I can't see this going on for too long if this sort of barrage continues.
There you can already see slight marking on the face of Jamil Elo.
I don't speak Finnish, Oscar, but I think the man from Finland just lowered his hands to try and say something. I can't imagine he was trying to mock his man, because that round has not gone his way. As you say, the marks on the face tell a story.
I don't speak Finnish, but I would hesitate at please stop.
Well, what a night so far here in Dublin. Maybe we just now take a little breather to reflect, Oscar, on what just happened. Mick Conlan, I mean, look, we said it was going to be electric atmosphere, and it was. Mick Conlan, what's going through his mind right now?
Relief, I would say relief. Not that he focuses on what questions people want to put about him and his career and where he's at out there, but relief, because like I said earlier, it would have been tough for him to sleep tonight had things not gone his way. He's done inside the distance, he's looked good, he's answered all the questions. Right now, I think there will be a real sense of relief, and look, I feel sorry for Jack Bateson. You can see there was a slight injury at the end, but you can't not feel delighted for Mick. He's a man who has had some moments in his career over the last few years where there hasn't been much to smile about. Let's be completely honest. He can go home tonight with a smile as wide as all of Ireland, and yeah, it was a brilliant performance, and honestly, one of the best atmospheres I've seen in the UK and Ireland.
Well said. Well said, Oscar Bavis. We're now back to the action in front of us. Dean Walsh, Jamil Elo. Walsh in the white with purple trim. Elo, all white, as the two men begin to trade. This time Elo comes out with a little bit more intent than he did in the first round. Look to try and claw some ground back on the man from Wexford. But he's reacting to feints, Oscar, and that's not a good sign if you're in his corner. If you're Walsh, it's a great sign when he's reacting to feints, because you've got your man worried, and you can see that that red marking on the face is now taking over as more and more shots have landed. And another good two-shot combination from Walsh lands left and right. And you'll give it to Elo, he's tough, he's taking it all, but these are going to be taking their toll as he goes downstairs and upstairs, Walsh.
He's just been beaten to the punch. He's way too quick, way too strong, way too accurate, Dean Walsh, for Jamil Elo. Yeah.
And one thing that he's doing very well is he's moving sideways, making angles. Elo's covering up to protect himself from barrages and strong shots like that. And when the gloves come back down to retaliate, Walsh isn't there anymore. Good shot again. A right hand over the top of the gloves. Connects where it was aimed for. And Dean Walsh, he looks very good for money here. As the legs buckle on Elo. Jamil Elo clinging on there. As again, more shots rain in from Dean Walsh. This is brave stuff from Jamil Elo.
When his legs wobbled out, I think he hesitated to kind of go gung-ho and throw the sink at Dean and see what he can do, but he decided against it, and you can see why. Any shot that lands is having an effect.
Yeah, he caught the legs buckling for a moment, and you can tell that Dean Walsh can smell blood here. He's circling his man and pulling off shots at will, and you're just waiting for one of these, if they carry on like this, to send his man to the canvas.
I think he wants to get to Mick's after party.
Why wouldn't you? Elo trying to fire back, lands one round the back of the body on Dean Walsh. Ref pulls him apart, and immediately Dean gets back to work, even after we heard the clapper go. So he survived round two. He even offers a handshake, maybe to try and buy some time. I don't know what he was celebrating there, Jamil Elo, because that was a strong Dean Walsh round. Interesting that Dean Walsh wasn't up for showing the respect. He offered the handshake there, but Walsh is in war mode now. He's circling him. He's not up for making friends just yet.
Yeah, he's not here for niceties, Dean Walsh. He's here to get in the ring, put it on Jamil Elo, and walk out the ring a victor, and that is exactly what he's going to do if things carry on this way.
Yeah, it's a little play, I think, from the man from Finland. Maybe to try and score some sympathy points. Not going to happen. Emotionless performance so far from Dean Walsh, who's teeing off at will. Just to give people at home a heads up about what's coming next. We have 2 fights after this one, a debut for Kian Hedman and Paul Lunam. And there'll also be a tribute to Paul Lunam's late father before that fight. Somewhat of an Irish folklore hero. We'll hear more about him very shortly. We're back underway here in Dublin. Dean Walsh, Jamil Elo going to round 3 of 8. Wonder whether we'll see all 8.
Yeah, I wonder how Jamil Elo's going to approach this round, because I think already he might realise that this is a step too far.
The shots, the thudding shots, we said it before in one of the other fights, Oscar, the thudding that we heard as shots landed simultaneously. That was one shot from Dean Walsh, and it made a similar sound again. He goes upstairs, straight to downstairs. Elo, rightly so, has got to keep his face covered, but it's just exposing his torso and allowing Walsh to hammer those shots, and then straight away, as soon as the guard goes down, bang, straight up top again.
Well, it sounded like a gunshot. You can only imagine how that felt.
Good cross right, though, from Elo. Did get one back through the guard, but if anything, and again, a left hook over the top, but if anything, it's just slightly annoyed Dean Walsh a little more and allowed him to tee off again. And now he's getting to territory of swinging and missing, and the energy that that's going to be taking when you're already up against it. A good, firm uppercut straight into the mouth of the man from Finland.
Yeah, he's eating some serious leather now, Jamil Elo. Not that he wasn't in the first 2 rounds, but wherever there's a gap, Dean Walsh plants his hands.
It's a brave performance. I'll give him that, Jamil. I didn't think he was going to still be here the way the first round went, but he came out a bit stronger in the second, and again, he's coming forward and throwing back. You can see the eyes really beginning to swell now. There's a couple of welts under that right eye, certainly, of Jamil Elo.
Well, there's no quitting the man, that's for sure. Still coming forward, high guard, still throwing shots. A good shot landed there.
And
in fact, the right hook to the temple of Dean Walsh, but any response is just way sharper, way quicker, way more powerful.
And listen, he's got every right to be confident. He's got a winning record. He's come here 4 wins, 2 by knockout, only 2 losses. So why wouldn't he back himself? But he eats a clean 2-piece there, followed up by a strong left hook. The referee is watching this one very, very closely now. As Walsh goes to the body, goes upstairs, cross right. He's landing whenever he wants to now. Elo throws a couple of jabs, begins to try and bring up the comeback. Throws a 1-2. Walsh moves out the way. Answers with a couple of his own shots, downstairs, upstairs. Elo with a hook to the body. Every time he throws one, he eats 7 or 8 in return.
It's nice and compact from Dean Walsh. Even the hooks, they're not wide hooks.
It's a very confident performance from a very confident fighter in Jamil Elo. So tonight, just to have a run through, Cody Smith, Dan Toward, Kevin Cronin and Kane Lewis all picking up victories in the first 4 fights of the night. Charlie Edwards, it was a victorious return to the ring for Charlie Edwards as the WBC International Super Flyweight title was on the line, scooped up and taken by the Englishman. Then Kieran Malloy stopped Nordine Torre earlier in the night before. Glenburn and Jacob Quinn gave us an electric, action-packed fight that Glenburn took on the cards. Talking of action-packed, the action continued as Ben Marnsby and Senan Kelly threw down what was again another fight of the night contender. It could have gone either way, really, but Ben Marnsby, rightly in my opinion, took the nod. Michael Conlan and Jack Bateson, the main event, delivered extravagant action before Michael Conlan had his hand raised by a stoppage win. And now here we are as Dean Walsh and Jamil Elo enter the 4th round of 8 in a middleweight contest. And again, Walsh commands as he goes downstairs, upstairs. He boxes on the back foot, before switching inevitably to the front foot and pushing his own man back.
Yeah, just briefly, Chris, you mentioned the night we've had so far. It's ticked every single box. Whatever you want as a boxing fan, it's had. I'm sure through Channel 5 you could sense and smell the atmosphere. It's had stoppages, it's had wars. Fights that have gone the distance, top prospects showing how good they are. It's been a night where every single box has been ticked.
I saw promoter Calla Sowland, we stood on the ring apron together for a minute before Michael Conlan ring walked, and he said there's going to be a party in here tonight. And he wasn't wrong. Dean Walsh letting his hands go. Downstairs, upstairs. I've got to give credit to Jamil Elo, who is still somehow coming forward. Marks both sides of his face. There's got to be fatigue kicking in.
Look, we're here to watch Dean Walsh. These people are here and interested in seeing Dean Walsh win. But just on Jamil Elo, this toughness that he's showing here will earn him fights in the future, because he's taken some quite big punishment in these 4 rounds, but he's standing there still marching forward with a high guard, still interested in this fight. He's yet to disconnect, when really this fight from 20 seconds in was never ever in his favour.
Well, if you look at fights earlier on in the night that had a similar commanding style, you look at Cody Smith, his man tucked up, didn't want to know. We've seen that before. But Jamil Elo, and he's connected a couple of times and he's going in now. And he's putting his head in danger, knowing he's going to get clipped, but he's protecting himself and throwing back, and he lands a good jab there, follows up with 2 cross rights. Both land, but immediately they're repaid with interest. Twice to the body, once over the top. And Dean Walsh is really treating this as a practice session in many ways, with respect.
Yeah, you can tell he's enjoying himself. Some lovely flash footwork when he gets in and out of range too. He's having real fun here and really breezing himself to what so far has been an impressive victory. Of course, he'd have sensed that, look, there's a stoppage there, there's a stoppage here for him tonight, and I'm sure if he can finish with a stoppage inside the scheduled 8 rounds, he'll walk away a very happy man.
Dean Walsh, 3-0. And barring an absolute miracle, going 4-0 tonight. But stranger things have happened. And Jamil Elo, for all that we've said about him, he's still confident, he's still talking. I still don't speak Finnish, but I still don't think he's pleading for mercy when he's talking. I think he's, if anything, I'd say it looks like he's saying, you're not bothering me. I don't think he believes it, but he's certainly saying it.
Yeah, whether you believe it or not that it's... Look, whether you believe it or not, you have to tell your fighter that you believe there's a manner of victory for them in this fight. Because if they're not, what's the point of sitting on that stool? What's the point of getting up for round 5? What's the point of throwing punches back? Then Dean Walsh, he'll be being told, look, it's not going your way, you know that. But there's a manner of victory here for you. Just listen, and you never know.
Yeah. You talk about fighting pride. This is what it looks like. It's entertaining to watch. We're seeing durability. And it's a case of if, not when. There is absolutely no guarantee that Dean Walsh will get his man out of there, but he's certainly going to look to do that as the pair land simultaneous jabs. And immediately, Dean goes downstairs, Elo goes upstairs. And you'll give it to him, Elo. He's throwing 2 and 3 consecutive jabs at a time. And while they may be landing, the shots he's receiving back in return are jabs and crosses, 1s and 2s. And they hold significantly more power.
Yeah, you can tell Dean's happy to take a light jab to the face in the chance that he can then throw in 3s and 4s. Lovely right hand.
This is good work from Dean Walsh, who, despite having a height advantage, is, as I said before, treating it as a practice session. He's using this time to show that he can roll around and get away from his man and do these other things that a lot of fighters wouldn't do. They know that they can take the shots, they know that they're winning, so they maybe get a bit lazy on the fundamentals. He's not letting himself do that. And that's a really strong left hook. He took a couple, and you knew that he was just winding something up. Follows it with a strong cross uppercut and then jab. Again, he's teeing off. I just wonder, Oscar, the referee is looking at this.
He's having a very close look. He felt that left hook.
Yeah.
At the start of this exchange, he felt that left hook.
Elo may be too brave for his own good here, and the referee has got so close. He's saying something.
I'm not sure what he's saying,
I think
but
he's talking about the two lowering their heads into one another, which
it looks like it's been nice and clean from our view, I would say, this fight, but...
Oh, Elo's head snapped back twice in quick succession there, because I think what he's doing, and he's doing it again now, Oscar, I think the only way that I think he's trying to protect himself is to get right up close, and in doing so, he's bowing his head slightly. Bear in mind, he is slightly shorter than Walsh as well, and it's just bringing the two heads close together, but Walsh is showing the switching footwork now, having a bit of fun in there, moving around from side to side still, but I'm amazed the referee... I would be amazed, sorry, if the referee isn't looking at this thinking, I'm going to step in here in a moment. But Elo, to his credit, is throwing back.
It's just, well, that's one thing he is throwing back. It is sustained punishment at this point, and you talk about those heads. Dean is scheduled to fight next month at the National Stadium, so if there's anyone who doesn't want a head clash, I think it might be Dean Walsh.
Absolutely right. Elo comes forward again, throws a couple of jabs, tucks up. Walsh replies, it's a good cross right from Jamil Elo, and then again followed up with a right hook. He had a little success there. And his wild shots, they are a little wild, but if they connect... Jamil Elo from Finland, 4-2, remember, winning record. Of his 4 wins, 2 of them were stoppages. So he's capable. He's done it before. He's done it before, and Dean Walsh has only done it once before. So there is more knockouts on his record, although tonight maybe they're even.
Yeah, I'm really enjoying what I'm seeing from Callum Walsh here. He's looked composed, he's looked dangerous, he's looked quick. I'm sure the corner will be saying more of the same. I think last round was the first time you could really see it unravelling. Look, it's been a pretty steep downhill ride for Jamil Elo from really not even minute 1, second one. But I think that last round was the first time that it looked like it was properly unravelling, and I'd be surprised if it doesn't continue in the same fashion in round 6.
And it does just that, as Walsh kicks the round off with a straight right through the pipe. And they're the kind of shots that are so heavy that even when they do land on the gloves, you feel them. That one certainly didn't land on the gloves, and you can tell by the speed at which Jamil Elo's head whips back every time he takes one of those shots. It's going to be 2 paracetamol every 4 hours for the next few days, I think.
For the next few weeks?
Yeah.
If it carries on this way.
If I was Dean Walsh, maybe I'd be more interested now, and I think he might have just started doing this. I might be starting to be interested in thinking, I'm going to try and work his body out a little bit more now, because I've landed a lot of headshots, and barring one slight buckle in the 3rd round, nothing much has really happened. He keeps coming back forward. So let me go downstairs for a little bit. Let me just see what happens. And again, he does just that. He whips to that rib cage.
Yeah, I mean, I spoke about his distance control. He's brilliant at coming in and going out, but it also might be time to plant the feet and throw those shots as well. Jamil Elo is not quick enough and not agile enough to avoid them. He's not quick enough and agile enough to throw back with real intent or anything that I believe could harm Dean Walsh. So maybe it is time to plant the feet, work the body, like you said, because, I mean, I'm sure Dean was smelling blood early, and that smell of blood must be getting a lot more pungent, because I think this is looking really to only go one way.
Yeah. It's a good performance from Dean Walsh, who seemingly landing at will. And while Jamil Elo is throwing back, they are having little to no impact. He's in with a bigger, tougher, stronger man. And although he's very brave, he might just be too brave.
Just managed to get himself a free dig at Dean's ribs there.
Another thing we'll give Jamil Elo credit for is he's still showing agility. He's moving around and it's almost like Dean Walsh is letting him have a few shots just to get his ego up a little bit more, give him a bit of a morale boost. So he comes forward and then Dean Walsh just tees off on him again.
Yeah, look, Dean's thrown a lot of shots. He wants these gaps, he wants openings. And sometimes just by letting a fighter, bringing them forward, inviting them forward, and just letting them land a few shots, especially if you know they don't have the power to hurt you. Just inviting them to have a few shots, because you can throw back and land the shots that you want.
Well, that's another strong ground. And their big, heavy, laboured breaths in the corner of Jamil Elo here in Dublin. And again, I just wonder what his team are saying to him at this moment. Do they just try and give him the encouragement to see it out to the end of the fight? Because it looks like they've fallen short on the tactics front. Again, barring a punch from the gods, you don't see anything happening for him in the remainder of the fight. So, is he saying just ride it out until the last round?
I think I could see his corner, again, just like you, I don't speak Finnish, but I think that his corner was saying keep your left hand high and throw the right, but as we've seen, when the left hand's high, that torso's exposed, and them shots that have been whipped to the body of Jamil Elo have definitely been having an effect.
So around 7 of 8. It's 30 seconds old. Dean Walsh maybe just taking a breather, and that's a smart move. Not because he may need a breather in this fight, but to learn on the job, as fighters in their first 5, 10, 15 fights are doing, is learning to manage your time in the ring. And if he can just learn to rest on it a moment, to take a breather, recharge and come again, it looks like he's doing just that.
Yeah, I've spoken to fighters before who have said that sometimes you do just realise you're in with someone who won't go anywhere, and 7 rounds in, you might have realised, look, I might not be winning this fight inside the distance, so let's take a breath, get back to my boxing. I've looked good, I've impressed, I'm happy, my team are happy. Maybe just settle for a second, think about my shots, and enjoy my time in the ring as well. This is fight number 4 as a professional, decorated amateur. 3 arena, Mick Conlan card. Mick's just done the business. Settle and enjoy my boxing.
Yep. Just that. It's another good combination from Dean Walsh. He lands a left and a right, follows it up with a tag downstairs, but Elo again stands as though it hasn't affected him. Simply must have. But he comes and he throws. It's a weak jab, because I imagine that the air has been taken out of him several times already in the last 20 minutes. But he's still coming and he throws left and right. He's going downstairs and upstairs. Dean Walsh just counters and reminds him who's in charge in this fight.
You can't do anything but give Jamil Elo real credit.
Walsh threw a taunt out, mocking where the jab may have landed, and Jamil Elo threw several punches back in retaliation. And the two men begin again to trade blows right in front of us.
Has Dean Walsh woken the beast with that bit of taunt in there?
Maybe. Is the finish mark? No, I can't do it. It's too easy. Jamil Elo walked back to his corner, looking unfazed. He's either incredibly durable or in line for an Oscar. Oscar didn't even do that on purpose.
Look, Jamil Elo deserves to see the end of this fight, for me. It's been a hard 7 rounds. I think he deserves to see the final bell.
Yeah, I think I might feel, which we shouldn't do, it's an emotionless job, it's an emotionless sport. But I kind of would feel a bit bad. I think if he was, to put it bluntly, if he was flatlined in this one now, you would feel a little for him. But the game's the game, and Dean Walsh is going to come out and look to do just that. He wants to highlight real knockout.
I hope in the corner, Team Walsh are telling Dean right now, actually, you know what? Why not? It's a big night, you've looked brilliant. Why not go out there, throw big, throw in bunches, and see if you can finish the job?
Well, now Dean Walsh does show a little bit of gamesmanship, shakes hands with Jamil Elo as we go into the last round. Remember, after the second round, Elo extended his hand and didn't get a high five in return. This time he does, but immediately it's back to business as the bell goes and the two begin to trade off again. And the two trade, Elo landing the final punch before a clinch, an overhand right, which coincidentally Walsh kicks off the next flurry with.
You can hear the don't stop calls from Dean Walsh's corner. They want him to finish the job before the end of the round here.
And why wouldn't they? Jamil Elo, when he threw that overhand right, then he swung his whole body into it. So he's happy to empty his own gas tank here to see that last round. And you would think a lot of fighters, Oscar, when it's the last round and they know that there is no way they've even won half a round, they just get on their bike and run away. But Elo's not doing that. It's almost like he's sending a message to the promoters, to the broadcasters, to anyone who's watching. I'm game, book me for some more fights. I don't go anywhere. As Walsh lands a couple of really strong points.
Yeah, I said this after round 3. I said I wouldn't be surprised to see Jamil Elo back on Irish soil, back on UK soil. So he's shown real durability, toughness. And I like the fact that there's times where even he's still stalking Dean, despite the fact, like you said, he hasn't even won, well, not even a quarter of a round, let alone half of a round.
Well, it says something when a fighter as good as Dean Walsh lands a good 6 or 7 shots consecutively unanswered, and your reply is to smile behind a guard and gloves. And he just actually, believe this or not, he just posed for the camera mid-flurry, which is incredible. As Dean Walsh again begins to tee off. Look, it's a dominant performance by the man from Ireland. There's no question that he's won this fight. As again, he does taste a couple in the exchange, but it's by far the stronger, more powerful shots coming from the man from Ireland. But quite incredibly, Elo is as game as though as if this was a 50-50 fight. Maybe he wobbled slightly then as a left came across. But Elo is living by the sword.
He's absolutely loving it.
And dying by the sword. This is one of the most remarkable fights I think I've ever seen. Not because it's been an all-out war, not because it's been explosive, incredible in the memory, etc. Just because I don't recall seeing a fighter take as much punishment and carry on coming. I don't know. Bit of a long cast your mind back. Alan Babbage, Mark Bennett. If you remember the Alan Babbage, Mark Bennett fight, where Mark Bennett just took 6 rounds of sheer punishment and just kept standing up and carrying on. But I think we've just seen a middleweight version of it. Fair play to Jamil Elo. He did stop short of raising his hands up after the fight. There is a sense of reality there. Maybe so. As we go to Paul Booth for an announcement.
Boxing fans ringside, after 8 rounds, our scoring referee, David Irving, is left to decide the contest. He has it at 79 points to 73 points in favour of the winner, still undefeated, from Wexford Island, Dean Walsh.
Yeah, as expected, it's a good win for Dean Walsh, who will take in that applause from the Irish faithful. But look, he's going to embrace with Jamil. And Jamil is actually getting a little emotional in front of us here, because he's put everything into that fight. And I think he would have taken just a round. I think he would have been happy to be told he won a round. He's going to get out of the ring, and quite upset, quite emotional exit of the ring for Jamil. But you can see him going shaking hands with some of the fans down there, because he's earned some respect. Boxing is show business. Boxing is characters in the ring and out the ring. And Dean Walsh has shown there that he's ready to move up a level. He's shown that he's ready to move forward. But Jamil has shown
Ladies and
that he's
gentlemen,
a
next
character.
time in the ring, it'll be 4 fights, 4 victories for the Gladiator, Wexford's Dean Walsh.
Well, if we're reacting to the chat, Chris, then someone said,
I
put
saw
him
it.
in with Moses Atalma.
I saw it.
Jamil Elo, that is.
We'll have a chat with him backstage later, see what he thinks about that.
We don't get carried away in boxing, do we?
Now, Paul Lunam, excuse me, Jake Pollard is our super bantamweight fight up next here in Dublin, and there will be, I'm told, a tribute paid, which Paul Booth will speak us into momentarily, for the father of Paul Lunam, who sadly passed away earlier this year. And there will be 10 belts. And we were speaking to a couple of people.
Ladies and gentlemen,
over to Paul.
it is a tradition in our sport, upon the passing of a member of the boxing family, to receive the final 10 bells. So, ladies and gentlemen, ringside, we ask you to stand, please, if you're able, and join us. Paul Lunam Sr. was a highly respected member of the boxing family over many decades. Described as a pure gentleman who exemplified all that is good in the sport of boxing. A referee, a judge, a club and national coach who trained numerous All-Ireland and national elite champions. The Irish boxing family, the team at Wasserman Boxing, deeply saddened at his untimely passing. We now send wishes to his family and pay tribute, sounding the final 10 bells for Paul Lunam Sr. Paul Lunam Senior. And now, to make his way to the blue corner, he brings with him a perfect professional fight record from Dublin Ireland, the boxer, Paul Lunam!
A fitting tribute and a remarkable courage shown, really, for Paul Lunam to take to the ring. He said he's fighting in memory of his father tonight.
Thank you, everybody, for some great respect. The boxing family together. Nessa Sauerland now brings you for Wasserman Boxing a scheduled 6-round contest. Firstly, boxing out of the red corner on the scales of 124.3, wearing the camouflage and black this evening. This is fight number 96 of his career. Boxing out of Bradford, England, introducing Jack Pollard. And wearing navy, yellow and maroon. This evening boxing out of the blue corner. On the scales officially at 123.4 pounds. Standing in the ring proudly this evening, everybody, as a former national Irish amateur champion. As a professional, his fight record is perfect. 5 visits to the ring, 5 victories. He is the reigning Boxing Union of Ireland Celtic Super Bantamweight champion, boxing out of the Dublin Ireland, Paul the Boxer Lunam.
Boxers, you got your instructions in the dressing room. Listen to me at all times, defend yourself at all times. Touch gloves.
Well, what an entrance and what an ovation for Paul Lunam, who even took a round of applause from his opponent as he made his way to the ring. As quite an emotional welcome from his team to let him in the ring as well. It's clearly a very, very personal fight for Paul Lunam, who fights in memory of his father. He's got the word Dad branded on the back of his shorts as well. The contest gets underway. Both men meet in the middle of the ring.
Yeah, it can't not put a lump in your throat.
Yeah, it was a difficult moment. But we are now down to business in the ring. And that is what Paul Lunam will want to focus on. Last time out, Lunam won the Boxing Union of Ireland Celtic Super Bantamweight title. He was introduced tonight as the champion.
I think that's what you're going to be getting a lot from Jake Pollard, is that forward in a straight line clinch, try and make it as messy as possible. He knows that, look, Paul Lunam's boxing ability betters his.
Yeah.
Something he would have accepted, you know, way before they stepped in the ring. So it's the tricks of the trade and the tactics that he'll use will just to be trying to scupper Lunam's work.
And it's a level test for Lunam to see how do you deal with things like this, like you just said there, when the head goes down and the shoulder comes forward and the roughing up tactics happen. But Lunam so far is dealing with it well. He's landing clean shots, and you can hear his team managing the time for him. There's 1 minute left. So good. You see how he's managed to move the defensive hand with his lead left and then follow it up immediately with the cross right. Good couple of shots there from Paul Lunam Jr.
Yeah, there hasn't been the biggest volume of punches at the beginning of this fight, but you can see from the feinting and twitching that, you know, he's not inactive in the ring. He's thinking on his feet.
And I just wonder, given the emotional circumstances around the fight, does it take you that extra minute to get in the zone? And maybe that's why it's been a bit of a quiet start.
It must have. It must have done.
He walked right past this big screen behind us here to a montage of his late father. And he took a moment just to look at it on the way into the ring. So it will be fresh in his mind when he steps in. So yeah, I think it's just something to adapt to in that first round, which he has done. And now his team, you would imagine, will be putting full focus on the fight now. There is no talk of anything else.
Yeah, look, he's settled in.
Yeah.
For the fight, he's won the first round. He's looked comfortable. He's popped the jab out. Jake Pollard assessed his stature, the position of his hands, and landed the shots he's needed to just collect that round. I think we'll see a different, higher intensity Paul Lunam as we move into round two.
Well, it's the penultimate fight of the night here. And a night that has been won for the books. Dublin is known for bringing atmospheres and entertainment and excitement. It has done just that. We've got an incredibly exciting talent up in the final fight of the night, a cruiserweight making his debut. See how that one plays out. Before that, though, we've got super bantamweight action, and we're into round two of Lunam Pollard in Dublin. And again, as Oscar Beavis said in that first round, Pollard knows that he's here to scupper and spoil and not let Lunam find a rhythm, not let him do what he wants to do. So far, he's pretty efficient at doing that, tucking up tightly as shots rain down on him, but nothing really breaks through. Lunam then reverts to a good uppercut, followed up by a hook to the body. And he's searching for it, Lunam, Oscar. He's looking for those gaps.
Yeah, there's intent. The intent is up from round one, like we mentioned, about it taking a few minutes just to settle into the fight, considering the circumstances around it. But he's found some good gaps to the body.
Second round has certainly been more active than the first. I think that's fair to say, even before the halfway stage of it. But it's a 6-rounder, so he doesn't have loads of time to settle in and find a rhythm. But Jake Pollard, again, this time he does let his hands go a little bit. Throws a 3 and a 4, immediately countered though, and Jake Pollard on the search again. Look, this is an opportunity for Lunam, sorry. This is an opportunity for him because you've got Nissa Callis, Howell and Andy Lee. They're all ringside watching on. You do something here, you get noticed.
People don't forget.
Exactly.
People don't forget, no matter how many fights Nissa and Calla have watched, no matter how many young Irish talents Andy Lee might have seen come through the ranks and burst on the scene. These people don't forget.
Jake Pollard is swinging there. He's having a go, which is, again, he knows, like you said before, he knows he's the underdog in this fight. He knows he's in here as a test. But he's going to provide that test, and he is throwing back, and he is landing, giving Lunam something to think about. Lunam again. Just waiting for his man to make a move, waiting for him to open up, and then try and find that gap. Going for the body. And as soon as he does, every time, as soon as he lands on the body, as Oscar called in round one, the head goes down. The big steps forward from Jake Pollard makes himself very hard to hit when you're so tucked up.
He loves slinging that left to the body. Just there again, the final punch of round two. I was impressed with those 3 minutes. Real composure. Not over-forcing his work, which can sometimes sound like a way of saying you just weren't too busy, but he's thinking on his feet, you can see that.
Well, what a night here in Dublin. And as it comes towards the end of the night, don't switch off just yet, because the final fight of the evening is one of the ones we've been looking forward to and we've been speaking about this week.
I cannot escape the Kian
Hedman name.
This week, I can't escape the hype. You ask anyone about him, he's the hardest worker, he's the most dedicated, he's a big puncher. I cannot escape
You take
hype surrounding Kian.
30-second look at his Instagram, see who's been sparring. I bet there's some tales from inside his gym. But we have to wait for them just now because Paul Lunam Jr. and Jake Pollard enter round number 3 and begin to trade in the middle of the ring. Lunam having to take big, deep bends in his knees to try and find a gap because he's against a smaller man who's crouching down, tucking up, high guard, elbows firmly tucked into ribs. There's just no gap for Lunam to find.
Whether there's real desire or not with some of the shots, the few shots that Jake Pollard does let go, it looks like there's a bit of speed in him, a bit of whip,
yeah,
a little bit of intent. Whether they're there just to try and back Paul up or whether he really believes there's shots that are going to land, there's a nice little bit of whip in some of the shots that he's sending Paul's way.
Pollard in the invisible shot. Stepping forward. I think if anything, Oscar, you've got to say Lunam is comfortable here. I think he knows he's not in any real danger.
Yeah, this hasn't been the most strenuous 8 minutes of action that he'd have had in his professional career. I'm sure he might have had tougher spars than what we've seen right now, but it's not necessarily about going into deep waters tonight. It's about working out what can be a complex and frustrating puzzle.
It's the kind of fight for Paul Lunam. The more the minutes go on, he's gonna struggle to find a stoppage. He's gonna struggle to land anything meaningful. But it's minutes in the ring. It's minutes with the lights on. It's minutes with the cameras on. You can go back and watch the footage, study it. What would you have done differently? He will have those moments with his team, by himself. Over the coming weeks, he'll probably watch this fight 5 or 6 times back at least, to see what he could have done. How does he solve this puzzle? Like Oscar says, what did he do in this round that he could have done differently? He steps back and watches a hand whiz past him. It's one thing he's done quite well is when the shots have come at him, he's not been there.
Go and look at Jake's CV. Go and look at some of the guys that he's fought. Not everyone puts this man away. I just heard a certain Callum Simpson who's doing Jake Pollard's corner ask him, all good? And he just replied with, I'm sweet. So I don't think there's anything, any real immediate trouble for Jake, although at the moment there's been very little success on the punch front, but...
Yeah. The Lunam-Simpson link up in the corner. They share a word and a smile together. But it's good action now as we pick up in round 4 of 6. And once again, the two meet in the middle of the ring. And this time he just caught it. He caught it quite well, Paul Lunam. As the head ducked down from his opponent, he caught it with the shoulder, shoved it back, and that allowed him to tee off a little bit, which is something he's not really been able to do so far in the fight. And the crowd did respond. They liked what they saw there. And now he's starting to buy the feint a little bit, and that opened up the guard again, and Lunam was able to get just a good, crisp jab through the pipe. Pollard fires back with one of his own. But again, that opens up another gap and allows Lunam to step back and step in quickly.
I spoke about working out the puzzle for Jake Pollard, and it seems that after 3 rounds, it's not that it wasn't comfortable before, but it seems like it's all too comfortable now for Paul Lunam.
Yeah, and I think one way he's allowing him to step in and almost offer him success, lure him in a little bit. Because when you fight someone like Jake Pollard, who has seen so much, and as you say, been in there with so many people who've gone on to do X, Y, and Z, he's seen the traps before, so it's more difficult to get him into them. But he did then, wobbled him a little bit, and the shake of the head usually means an internal nod of the head.
I think he was trying to highlight that their feet had entangled, but you're right, that shake of the head is normally, you have caught me, but I need you to think otherwise.
The heat of the moment poker face is rarely believable. Good shot by Paul Lunam as he moves the hand out of the way and lands swinging right hand right around the side of the head. The two trade jabs in the middle of the ring. Downstairs from Lunam, upstairs. He's figured out that right hand coming down on the top of the glove does connect with the side of the head as well. He's done it a couple of times now, Lunam, and he's having a little bit more success with it. Interesting hearing Lunam's team telling him to stay there. He's happy to stand, plant, fight. And when he does that, you can hear them connect. He's having a little bit more success now, Paul Lunam. Pollard happy to tuck up.
There's nothing of real velocity coming from Jake Pollard. Paul Lunam is absolutely spraying that body. It's like that tattoo on his body, just a big target. at the moment that Lunam can find with absolute ease.
Trying to work out what that tattoo is. Either way, uppercut followed by a hook. Lunam here's the clapper. Go begins to tee off again. It's probably been his best round, Paul Lunam. There's no question that he's won them all. So you give him that one as his most impressive so far.
Deep breaths in that Jake Pollard corner. I just heard Callum Simpson just tell him just to move his head a little bit more. But little smiles, I think they know that there's no immediate trouble.
Yeah. The two fighters spring to the feet and into action. The penultimate round in the penultimate fight of the night. But memorable night here in Dublin. It is the kind of night that we will look back on. Remember that night in Dublin. Mick Conlan delivered his first professional fight, and the fights on that card were cracking, is what we'll say. And this is one of them. It's Paul Lunam tees off with Jake Pollard.
Yeah, as we close in on midnight, I can't quite believe that we've still got one more to come as well.
Right, you are, midnight. I hadn't spotted that. So what time was the first fight? Was at 5 o'clock tonight. That's a shift.
Got to make sure the lads know that.
Especially after such an intense game of football at Wasserman Portable HQ last night.
Nissa Sowland, the ultimate goal hanger.
I didn't want to bring it up before. Nissa Sowland.
He's the boss, you can't say anything.
Well, I can say that,
let him get on with it.
I can say that he stuck one on me in the first 2 minutes of the game because it's a simple fact of what happened yesterday. I look forward to receiving a WhatsApp message from him when he watches this back early next week. Pollard, again, finds the technique of punching down on that right hand. It's working every time. It's not doing maximum damage, but it's the most successful shot that he's having outside of, as Oscar says, those body shots. Left and right.
Lovely left to the body.
It's good stuff from Paul Lunam. I think he knows he's not going to get the knockout tonight, so he's happy to just showcase, work. And it's an exercise mentally as well as physically. We spoke about everything that's going on outside of the ring. He has to show himself that he's capable of putting that to the back of his mind and tee off.
Yeah, it's been brilliantly mature.
Yeah, incredibly mature. It's a great way of putting it. The role of a father in so many young men's boxing careers is absolutely vital. Not only vital to the boxing progress, but the connection that a father and son will bond.
And the role of Paul Senior in the community and in Irish boxing, not just with his son, but other amateurs, other professionals.
Yeah, absolutely. Trained 2 national elite champions, Paul Lunam Senior. Coached numerous All-Ireland champions. Coached on the national high-performance team in Ireland and abroad. He was a Leinster development head coach.
See that knowledge has been passed down to his son Paul, who has looked, once again I'll use the word composed because I think it's the perfect word for the 5 rounds that we've seen tonight. He's looked mature.
Paul the boxer Lunam Jake Pollard. Prepare for the final round. Here in Dublin. The pair embrace as we go into the final round. As I think every fight that's gone to the final round tonight, the fighters have done that. Ireland is a fighting city, but it is also a compassionate one.
They do call this the fair city.
They do. It has well and truly turned up tonight. 2.5 minutes left in this one.
I like the start from Lunam. I'm pretty sure he threw the first jab before the bell even rang. Looking to be busy and really just hammer home this victory and impress, like you said, those watching Nissa Sowell and Calla Sowell and Andy Lee.
Yeah, he's game, he's keen, he's hungry. He's landing downstairs, he's moving them upstairs. Jake Pollard just throwing a couple of uppercuts, just on the chance of trying to get something through. Lunam showing a little bit more venom now, a little bit more spite in his punches. Whereas before he was happy to keep his man at bay and show he could box. This time you get the impression he does want to hurt him a little bit in that last round. Pollard swings and misses. Lunam lands.
It's been the shot of the night for me from Paul Lunam Jr., his shot of choice, that left to the body.
As the pair get broken up and prepared for another flurry. Again, I think you like that shot to the left of the body. I think I like that looping, that downward loop in right hand. He's done it several times tonight, and you've got to find those gaps when you get a fighter like Jake Pollard, who's experienced and knows how to tuck up and make it difficult. If there is one or two gaps, you've got to exploit them regularly, and that's what he's done.
Yeah, make the most of them. Bite the bullet, throw the shot. The crowd reacting to that flurry. Let's have a last push, the last 45 seconds. It'd be good to see a real push from Paul to try and put even a minor dent in Jake Pollard.
Yeah, he's got a lot of respect here from the crowd here in Dublin. It's fair to say it's not the crowd that it was nearly an hour ago for Mick Conlan, but it's still noisy, it's still present.
I don't think there's many worldwide that attract the crowd as noisy as Mick.
That was some atmosphere tonight as Mick Conlan performed one of his iconic ring walks. But we go into the final 10 seconds of this one. The crowd baying Paul Lunam on as he reciprocates final flurry. He reacts, he gives them what they want. And the bell goes. The pair embrace.
I'd love to know what's being said by Jake Pollard there, but I can only imagine it's something underlined with pure respect for the way he's handled himself tonight.
Yeah, well, Pollard was applauding Lunam as he made his way to the ring tonight. Lunam salutes, shows appreciation to those fans down in front of him. Calla Sowell hops in the ring. And you can imagine it's something similarly respectful that's being said there as well. Said he was fighting for his father, who passed away earlier this year. Dad branded on his shorts.
You'll be looking down a proud man.
Yeah, absolutely. Don't be surprised to see Paul Lunam again on a Wasp
Ladies
show.
and gentlemen, at the end of 6 rounds, our referee decides the bouts. Scored at 60-54 in favour of the winner from Dublin Ireland, Paul Lunam.
Job done for Paul Lunam. tricky opponent who was never going to make it easy to look good. But Paul Lunam figured the puzzle out. And he'll just take a minute to soak up his final minutes in a ring tonight.
These moments that are the priceless ones. I'm sure we'll really enjoy that tonight.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us for that amazing tribute as well for Paul Lunam Senior earlier. Next time he's announced in the ring, it'll be 6 fights, 6 victories, a perfect fight record for a Fallies, Paul Lunam! Next tonight, everybody, we're on with our final bout of the night. It is a cruiserweight contest to make his way to the blue corner for the first time in the sport of professional boxing. From Limerick, Kian Hedman!
Kian Hedman makes his way to the ring, the cruiserweight. Blasting out Don't Stop Believing by Journey. Well, it's a fitting tune because this is the first step in his journey as a professional boxer.
And he's had to be patient, especially tonight. It was a float. He could have been on at 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, and he's fighting on Saturday.
He is fighting on a Saturday, you're right. And listen, a lot of his learning tonight will be in the ring, but the learning started tonight when he entered the arena, because as Oscar says, he was a float fight. And this is the sport of boxing, where you make your own luck. And you've got to play by the rules. And tonight he's had to wait, but he now gets his opportunity. And for the first time as a professional, he walks to the ring.
Boxing fans, here we go then, with a cruiserweight contest. This bout scheduled for 4 rounds. Scoring referee in charge is Stephen Kelly of Dublin. Boxing out of the red corner, 181.2 on the scales. He's wearing white and gold. 5 victories, 2 inside the distance. From Worms, Germany, via way of Romania, introducing Alexandro. And wearing white, blue and pink and boxing out of the blue corner this evening. He's a 3 times national amateur champion, 3 times international box of golds winner. On the scales of 181.3 tonight, he enters the world of professional boxing. The Limerick Dream from Limerick, Ireland, Kian Hedman. Referee Stephen Kelly with his final instructions.
Kian Hedman has certainly kept the fans in the arena tonight. They want to see him. And he wants to deliver for them. But to do that, he's up against Alexandro Kresnici, a man with 5 wins, 2 of them coming by knockout, and 8 losses. So by no means a pushover. But what can the man from Limerick do? He's sparred Joe Parker, no less. He sparred Hamza Shiraz, Ben Whittaker. So he's been sparring at light heavyweight and at heavyweight. So for a cruiser, he's adaptable.
Well, there's a common theme between them three names, and as you noticed that already Andy Lee ringside is shouting instructions early. Obviously, a real vested interest in Kian, managed by Jason Quigley, who's in his corner two. I told you this earlier, I could not escape Kian's name this fight week. I've heard a lot. Like I said, we've had to wait, and I hope it's going to be worth the wait.
He started very excitedly. Has Kian. He's landed a couple of shots, and the crowd have reacted to every single one. But he's had to take a couple as well as Krasniqi steps forward in the white shorts with the gold trim. Kian in the white shorts with the pink and blue, showing that he's happy to trade. He's going to have to taste a couple, but he got one through the guard there that landed down the pipe. Krasniqi's throwing as well. This is the kind of fight where both big guys are throwing big shots. So keep an eye on it. They tangle up. This is the kind of fight where Kian's going to have to get over the adrenaline. It's his debut fight. There's a lot of emotion. There's a lot of intensity going through your veins, going through your whole system. He's just got to drown it out and focus on the job. But Krasniqi is landing downstairs, not letting him do that.
And you mentioned Krasniqi's 5 victories, a few inside the distance as well. At cruiserweight, these are big guys. These are big guys.
The pressure's being turned up, and he's down. He's down. It's his first fight, and in his first round of his first fight, he scored a knockdown. Kian Hedman against Alexandro Krasniqi. Can the German get back to his feet? I don't know if he's going to quite make it. He has. The ref's doing final checks.
That looked tight.
Is Kian Hedman going to close the show? Krasniqi's trying to throw back. Hedman's turning up the pace. He had one in the middle of that as well. Hedman looking to end the show. Big shots being let go. Both guys standing in the middle of the ring trading. Krasniqi this time gets through the guard. He lands over the top. Hedman lands another looping right hand. Backs his man up. Krasniqi tries to throw a lead left. He's down. What a big shot. Big shot. The referee brings them back together. What a huge right hand. And then followed up by a very stiff jab. Krasniqi trying to cover up. Kian Hedman drops his man again. That might be everything. Krasniqi takes a long, good look at his corner. The ref's counting. Is Krasniqi getting up?
Adamant
it was the back of the head, but he shook his head as if to say it wasn't. He's up, he's made it up. Can Hedman end it in the first round? He can't because the bell goes, but my word, Oscar, he was close.
Not a bad first round in the professional ranks. Not a bad round.
You'll take it, and Andy Lee is dancing along. Look at this. He's enjoying what he's seeing. You talk about making an impression. Well, fight number one of your whole career. And twice in the first round, you get a big, durable opponent drop like that.
Yeah, this might sound a bit foolish on first thought because he didn't actually end the fight in the first round, but you can see there's a real finishing instinct.
Yeah.
And that wasn't a finishing instinct where Kian's going in windmilling shots and going, look, I'm going to get this guy out of here. I want to do it in the first round. Let me put my foot on the gas. This was a finishing instinct where there was composure. He took his time. Shot selection, head, body. There's a real maturity about the last minute.
If I was hypercritical, I'd say he did take a few shots, and against bigger punchers, some of those might have more of an impact. But Oscar, you're right. He didn't just go wild in there. He stayed composed. And now Kian Hedman will look to do it again. Krasniqi this time getting a lot closer. Not letting his man do that again.
You know the end might be near when all of Kian's fans have pushed right up to the barrier waiting for the big moment, the one they've been waiting for all night.
Half of them have got the phones out ready to capture that moment. It's surely coming. Although Krasniqi, in his credit, is fighting back and he lands a good right hand. Now Hedman is the one that's got to deal with having shots put on him and being pushed back. He's done that quite well. He's pushed his man back. He's thrown a good uppercut there. The two men trading.
I'm surprised that Krasnici's come out in round 2 in this manner, because on that first knockdown, my viewing was that he didn't really want to be in the ring with Kian, yet he's come out in round 2 with real intent, still getting clipped by some big shots, but throwing leather himself.
Guns are blazing, and Kian Hedman has just shown really good head movement to get out the way of a couple of shots there. He's caught one there, though, Krasniqi, and although he's taken one in return, he has landed on Hedman. And Hedman just reminded that it is boxing. You aren't going to take him as well as give him, but he lands again a strong couple of punches right on the jaw, and Krasniqi is throwing back and he's landing a couple, but they don't have the power that Hedman does.
Yeah, Kian doesn't respect the power coming his way in the slightest, and that might be why he's lowering his hands and accepting the fact that he might be able to take a few shots during some of these exchanges.
Krasniqi trying to tee off, but Hedman, good movement for a big man, up and down, dipping the legs, stepping side to side. He comes forward again. He's looking for that uppercut. He's had such success with it already. Goes to the body, goes upstairs. This is good stuff from the debutant. The two of them stand head to head, gloves to glove. Maybe just taking a little breather. It's taking a lot out of them. Strong shot again from Krasniqi. This might be everything. He goes down again and it's over. A debut win in the second round. Kian Hedman wore his man down. The legs went. He upped the pressure right at the crucial moment. And the referee had seen enough. What a way to sign off. An incredible night of boxing here in Dublin. We're going to stay on for another minute just while Paul Booth announces, gets the formalities done, but Kian Hedman will go to bed tonight a happy man, whatever hour it may be, because I'm sure he's going to celebrate that one.
Yeah, he has to. Brilliant performance, brilliant showing on his professional debut. And if you're taking the night as a whole, it's fair to say that I think Ireland have won tonight.
Ireland have won the majority of the fights, not all of them, in the England-Ireland rankings.
Ladies and
but
gentlemen,
overall,
the official end of this contest falls at 2 minutes, 3 seconds of round number 2. Referee Stephen Kelly stops about. The official decision is a KO. It's a debut victory for the Limerick Dream, Kian Hedman.
The two embrace. Kian Hedman's journey has begun with a bang.
Thank you everybody for joining us tonight on an amazing night here at the 3 Arena, Dublin. Hope you all have a safe onward journey home this evening and enjoy the rest of your safe night. Thank you once again, everybody. Till next time, goodbye.
Oscar Beavis, thank you very much for joining us this evening, talking us through a really terrific night of boxing here in Dublin, Ireland. Have you enjoyed it?
I have very much so. Enjoyed doing it next to you, as always, Chris. And I think we're on quite the journey now. It was Brighton, then a few hundred miles up to Newcastle, then across the water to Dublin. God knows where we're going to be next.
Who knows where we will be next? Who knows when it will be? Something tells me it might not be too far away, but we'll find out. For tonight, though, let's enjoy Dublin. Let's enjoy what has been a memorable, memorable night with plenty of talking points, narratives that will continue and storylines that will unfold in the days and weeks to come. Not least for this man in front of us, not least for the headliner tonight, Michael Conlan. Thank you for joining us on Wasserman Boxing. I'm Chris Ridgway. He was Oscar Beavis. Good night.